Coach, when a team like that comes in and they're playing well, and your guys finally get it going in the half, and they kind of get on another run, what do you say to a young group of guys like that?
Well, the first thing is this was St. Joe's again, where we couldn't stay in front of the ball. And you can scheme and do all this stuff, but when you get a lead and they go and do an and one layup on a straight line drive, it's hard. So we got time in between games, and we got to keep working on the importance of staying in front of your man and make him score through your chest. We just keep opening up the hips, and they're shooting layups. Difference between this and St. Joe's, we made shots. So we were able to keep the game. And that's why I keep coming back to, there are games you're not going to make shots. You got to rebound and defend. You can't, the thing that bothered me to start the game, I understand our starting point guard was out, okay? But we didn't play the same way. We held the ball. Everybody's trying to make a play. So now you say, well, why didn't you get off more threes? Because everybody who caught it held it. Instead of a pass it, just to pass it, drive the lane, they help you kick it out, it's an open three. We had to get threes where I had to run a play to get a three. That's not who we are. I mean, there was a play where there was a guy straight ahead, our best three-point shooter, and I had a guy try to throw a cross-court bounce pass. And that guy was standing right there with no one on him. Literally, the only guy between him, it was just, but there were other plays the same way. They deserved to win the game. They did. I would have liked to have tried to steal the game from them, but they deserved to win it. They played well. They shot well. They have 12 turnovers. You imagine we had more turnovers than they did. We had 8 at halftime. Or 9. Whatever it was. I'm like, guys. And they were all because we're trying to make the hardest possible play instead of just easy plays. We got stuff to learn. You know what? This is all part of it. You win and you learn. This was learned. We better guard the ball better. Yes.
You kind of mentioned to the point of the season where it's a week between games, other than staying in front of your man, guarding the ball. What are 1 or 2 things that this team really needs to work on over this next month?
Well, we got to make sure we don't revert back to holding the ball. You have coaches calling me, I love watching your team. If they watch this game, they did not love watching this team. So what was the difference? We could say it was one guy, but I'm saying, all of it, why did we do that? Sometimes you got to stick your hand in the fire and get burned to know I don't like this feeling. I was saying in huddles, you having fun? I'm not having fun. Why won't you pass it to each other? We had post-ups available, and a guy drove it and tried to shoot it, turn it over. Like, what? But that's what happens with young teams. And rebounding, there were 3 plays. Again, it's our game. Guy shoots a ball, and we don't block out. We turn and run to the rim, and it bounces over the guy's head and one. Very next play, the same thing. The guy blocks out like that instead of meeting him in and one, and he gets his 4th foul. I mean, those are all correctable. But again, that's a good team. I got to give it to them. And I knew it. I told them prior to the game, after watching the tape, I'm like, why are we playing this game? But that's part of what this team will go through. Now, you guys know we can play with anybody in the country, and we can lose to anybody in the country. And we'll play the right way. We get better defensively. We rebound. We'll be fine. I said you can't do it with young guys. Well, we've kind of done it with young guys. But staying in front of the ball. Now, you may have had a player on my team that was your favorite player in the history. If he got beat 17 times on straight line drives, I can go down the line. It wasn't just one guy now. And we just got to get better at it.
Yeah, John, can you put your finger on why you think they reverted to just holding the ball?
I have no idea.
How surprised were you that
Very
happened?
Surprised. I thought the other team was who we were. So basically, I keep coming back to dominant habits. if your dominant habit is when a shot goes up to run to the rim, that's your dominant habit. I'm trying to get them to create a shot goes up, you go find somebody to block out. It's not a dominant habit right now. Passing just to pass is not a dominant habit. It isn't. Now, they've been doing it and we've been training it, but the dominant habit is what you saw today. I'm going to make my play. It's hard to play basketball that way. And we don't have to because we got skilled guys. I would tell you that there are some guys playing on this team that because they're on this unselfish team, they've really looked good. And they've made other people look good. What you saw today, you could say so-and-so was okay, and we can go right down the line. Why didn't he play to the level where he was? We didn't do this together. But it's a good lesson. But believe me, it wasn't just offense. It wasn't. Got to stay in front of people.
John, you talk about a young team learning. Obviously, 22-point win the other night over a top 10 team. Everybody's patting them on the back. Was that in education something they had to learn today, or do you think they were ready to play?
You'd have to ask them that. All I know is we didn't play the way we've been playing. How'd we stay in front of Miami? Was there, it's not that important, and then all of a sudden you give the other team beer muscles. Now all of a sudden they're driving like crazy because you chose not to think that was important. And your dominant habit is a guy drives, you open up your hips, and he just goes right down the lane on a straight line drive versus I'm retreating. And if you're ever in our practice, it's stuff we do every single day to try to create that dominant habit. But it's hard. It's hard. And I'm, you guys know I hate losing, but we got to go through stuff like this. Like if we had won this game, at the end something happened, they miss free throws, they don't make that jump shot, we come down and do it, and we make, I'm not sure what happens other than we're all happy, geesh, we just won. I mean, this is, but I'm not taking away from what UNC-Wilmington did. They played their butts off, and they deserve to win the game. The way they played and, the shots they made, I mean, and they were big shots. When they needed to make a shot, they did. When we needed to make a shot, we didn't. We just didn't.
Coach, we did see Aaron Bradshaw for the first time tonight. You kind of been bit by the injury bugs, the big, now DJ. What'd you think of the way Aaron played, and is there an update on DJ?
First time out for him. I think he was probably plus a bunch. I don't know exactly. You'd have to look. What was it? Plus 11 in a game we lose by this. So obviously that says he did okay. He's still not in the flow of the stuff yet, but he did some good stuff. That's a good start for him. And I have no news on DJ at all. Thank you.